Cheerleaders are the promoters of their schools and communities. They are a marketing tool to the athletic programs that they support, and they create school spirit. If a cheerleader happens to be a male, however, this changes the way they are perceived for being on the squad. I'm Olivia Hallstrom, and now I'm going to be speaking about the social aspects of males cheerleading in high school. There was a time when seeing males participate in cheerleading was more the norm. In fact, cheerleading started as a male sport at the end of the 19th century. As of now, when someone says the word cheerleader, almost everyone automatically thinks of a girl that yells to the crowd, jumps, and tumbles. Boys are often scared to cheer because of the stigmas against them. They are often called gay, and even harsher words in some cases. Why does this happen, some may ask? Some say that cheerleading is just for girls and real men play sports like football, basketball, and soccer. Many high school boys believe that a guy is a sissy for being a cheerleader. They feel male cheerleaders are weak, unathletic, and uncoordinated. Going along with the accusations of a male cheerleader's ability, they receive words such as the ones I mentioned previously on the daily. This causes the cheerleader's self-esteem to plummet and may even cause them to quit because they do not want to deal with or cannot handle the teasing. In Laura Grinstaff's article, Cheerleading and the Gendered Politics of Sport, she states, male cheerleaders in particular distance themselves from the feminine elements of cheerleading because they want to avoid being perceived as gay. The gender politics at work here illustrate both the elasticity of gender categories and the limits of the elasticity, as gender boundaries are redrawn between what gets to count as a sport and what does not, as cheerleading simultaneously challenges and reinforces the notion of sport as a male preserve, because masculinity and femininity are performed side by side in co-ed cheerleading. This is a common viewpoint for numerous high school boys across America, causing the numbers for males cheerleading in high school to be very low. Estimates show that about 97% of cheerleaders in high school are female, leaving 3% to be male. One of the many reasons guys do not want to try out for cheer is that they believe they will be shamed for taking part in a girl sport. Paulo Ruiz, a University of Texas cheerleader, explains, high school cheerleading is more of a social activity and much less skills-based than the competitive cheerleading, which relies on the typical gymnastics, tumbling, and stunting, which is just holding the girls up in the air in different ways. Particular parts of high school cheer do, in fact, rely on skills such as tumbling, jumping, and stunting, but they are only related to the squad's halftime routine rather than the only thing the team focuses on. The idea of only yelling to the crowd to pump them up causes the idea of cheerleaders not having coordination. Belvedere High School junior Dakota Stevens, who switched from football to cheer, says, I didn't think I would like it because it's cheerleading, but I found it's a lot harder than it looks, he said. I have had some ask me why I was doing it, but I didn't let it bother me. On a more serious note, let's take into account the bullying that happens not only to high school male cheerleaders, but even younger as well. The LA Times states, a 13-year-old 7th grader named Nigel Hardy was sometimes bullied, cursed, and mocked for his participation in the extracurricular club, AV Dynasty All-Stars. Nigel was found dead in apparent suicide at a restaurant about 20 miles from Palmdale, California, on April 15, 2013. A gun, which likely belonged to his father, was found near his body. As the result of doing something he adored, he was harassed to the point where he could not handle it anymore. Just over a year ago, 7th grade Vista Junior Eagle cheerleader Ronan Shimizu committed suicide on December 3, 2014. Josh Miner, an assistant wrestling coach at Folsom High School, says, he was good at it. He was better than some of the girls out there. It was almost like second nature to him. The somersaults and handsprings, but they teased him so bad. Ronan ultimately gave up on cheerleading in April of 2014, tired of the constant harassment. This tragedy was internationally recognized and used as part of an anti-bullying campaign. Bullying such as this occurs everywhere across America, targeting males who find interest in cheer. Gay is what most guys and some girls think when they see or hear of a male who cheers in high school. These thoughts sometimes turn into actions against the cheerleader, causing them to either quit or not even try out. The slurs and discrimination against them terrifies the males who are interested in cheer into hiding. Yet later, a male may decide to cheer in college, and the reaction to it by others is quite different than in high school. Kylie Thomas explains more about males cheerleading in college.